All your men, all your money. It weren't no match for a bunch of bumpkins.
Well, it would seem yet another game that actually gave a shit about what the players think have put the woke losers to shame yet again. Black Myth Wukong is phenomenal. It's that simple. Inspired by the classic Chinese novel Journey to the West, the game is definitely more Souls-like than Stellar Blade, but still in many ways something unique. We'll get into that a bit later, but in this video, we're gonna honor yet another game that is not complete trash, while also making it clear that just because it's not full of woke shit doesn't mean it's completely perfect. This game does still have issues, but the pros emphatically outweigh the cons. And quick disclaimer, I know this may not be you, but there are people who maybe haven't finished the game yet. And everybody can play till it's done, they may have work, school, and whatnot. I know you probably beat it at least 3 times, but for those who haven't, I'm going to mainly be using only footage from chapters 1 and 2, and maybe a few bits from 3, because I kind of need to. If you think that means, well, I bet you haven't played the game, you can go fuck yourself. So here are 8 things I love and hate about Black Myth Wukong. A number of things contribute to the unique feel of Black Myth Wukong. The memorable characters, the great voice acting, this guy who has no head.
Just for a short reign over this barren valley.
But the one thing that truly stands out are the unique cutscenes you get at the end of every chapter. Each one is told in a different form, animation, claymation, anime, and it's ideas like this that make the game stand out, opposed to making beloved characters fat and ugly. And the writing here isn't bad either. The one that concluded Chapter 2 really had me intrigued as to how it would end, despite not being particularly pleased with the boss that preceded it. The tornado thing was kind of bullshit, but that's one in many, and we'll get to that later. The feel, story, atmosphere, and overall appearance of this game is something truly special, and the one thing Stellar Blade was somewhat lacking in some regards. It's not just about the gameplay, you can really get into the narrative that's not very common in Souls-like games, but still the atmosphere is what truly sells it, and that is something I definitely like.
How about you bend the knees, admit the wrongs, and we can put this behind us.
So one thing that keeps this from being a true Souls-like is the lack of build customization. You kind of just proceed in order of what makes you stronger. You get options sometimes in a few ways, but it's fairly simplistic. And I can't deny I do miss the ability to create different kinds of builds. I can't exactly call this a flaw, but I am trying to even this list out, so it is something worth noting. The armor just gets stronger as you go, the weapon style stays the same primarily, there are spells and whatnot to change things up, but it's not my favorite system out there, so it gets put here. Not a big deal, not really mad about it, so don't take it too seriously.
I know a way to guide the souls, mend their paths, and set them free. It will aid you.
In the same vein as that, you have to appreciate how this game doesn't waste your time. Long boss runbacks are nonsensical, that's always going to be a plus, but the accessibility goes way beyond that. Skills can be bought whenever you please, you don't have to rest to do that. Resting is needed for some stuff, but nothing you'll essentially need. And while I don't like to agree with IGN, who gave this game the lowest score possible, being an 8, that's saying something. The game really does want to keep you in the action. Very little time is wasted, that is such a good thing with games like this. It's still Souls-like in my opinion, if anybody's questioning that, but it's more of a streamlined one, and in this case, that's a good thing. Also a little bonus, there is a pause button. No strings attached. Kind of like the like button. The subscribe button is technically also free, unless you're a woke loser.
Are you mad?
Ranged enemies are very hard to do right. Even Dark Souls usually fails at that. It's the definition of artificial difficulty, and this game has one too many of those moments. I suppose it's the one thing that will never truly die. There are moves to somewhat combat this, but in the middle of an intense fight that's not going to do much good. Range attacks are shit, and that's all there is to it.
Through your valor and sagacity, order has been restored.
This is a key factor in any Souls-like. It's why Dark Souls 2 is a garbage sequel only loyal fanboys enjoy, and if it's not done right, then neither is the game. You can see where this is going. Rarely does this game have bad enemy placement, aside from a few encounters and the aforementioned ranged enemies. Obviously, not everything is perfect. There is an area when the gimmick is you lose health, a Dark Souls 3 concept literally nobody likes. But unlike that, it's not down to the enemies. The design and placement are top notch, and very few aren't fun to fight. There's no such thing as a perfect Souls-like game, or Souls game. Even the Dark Souls franchise can't pull that off, and I don't think FromSoft ever will. But Black Myth Wukong is definitely up there, and this is the reason why. One of many reasons.
I might as well die! No.
That's an accurate statement. Well, not really. Most of the Souls-like games don't have a map, and we got along just fine. But there are times I kinda wished we had one. It definitely would have come in handy, but the map is only an issue when you add on the annoying invisible walls. Very often does it appear you can go somewhere when you simply can't, and there's no getting around this. It does occasionally take you out of it. Maybe we're too used to the idea that if you see something, it means you can go there. I do find it comedic that this game doesn't allow you to fall off a cliff, aside from a few areas that do, which become even more annoying as a result. But a lot of the time, it really does feel pointless. The walls seem to be there for no reason, and it is problematic. Of the few issues this game does have, this stands out the most. But if slight limitation and no map are the biggest downsides, that's pretty damn good.
How wondrous marvel of the universe.
Bosses are not the main thing when it comes to Souls-like games, in my opinion, but in this case, it's pretty damn good. I mean, yeah, there are some bad ones, as previously mentioned. The Yellow Wind Sage is complete garbage because the final stage is bullshit, but those are few and far between. If a boss does something stupid, it's usually not that hard to get past, and way more times than not, it's satisfyingly difficult, even if it is questionably hard. It's not an easy game by any means, the bosses are usually the reason for that, and while I still value level design more, that's by no means bad in this game either, but the bosses this time stand out the most. They're real damn fun, even the hardest ones don't anger me that much. Hardly ever did I think it was unfair, and the few times I did, well, every Souls game has that. Again, I don't want to get into too much detail here for those who haven't played the whole game, but this is easily the best reason to check out Black Myth Wukong.
Oh, pardon me, young sage, mercy, young sage, have mercy.
That's right, in this game there is no village full of gay women, meaning modern audiences are not welcome. As for the real number one thing I don't like, there isn't one. The game is real damn good, and that's that. But if you want another positive, the fake controversy this game has sparked is one of the funniest things ever. If you want to laugh, look into those fake journalists, it's funny as shit. So, there you have it. 7 things I love and hate about Black Myth Wukong. Not a whole lot to really hate about this game, so let me know what you think in the comments down below. Remember to like the video, hit the subscribe button, and above all, pick up this game if you somehow missed it. I'm the Game Analyst, and don't forget, Chinese people are people too. And that's diverse. Oh, what? You're actually here? That's fucking amazing. I guess you may as well check out the main channel, in which I discuss movies, TV series, and the offensive topics that lie within. If you're into that, then press the link in the description. It's right there.